Hi, Mark here. I trust you're well. Welcome to a legacy recording of a live Lightroom skills and support session that was recorded in 2022. Now, technology has changed, internet access has got better. So I'm sharing this with you. Hopefully the content, the knowledge helps you with your Lightroom Classic skill set. The narrative for the evening was the colour modes, red, green and blue in the tone curve. And there may be some information that helps you. Now, if you'd like to come and join us on our live Lightroom skills and support sessions, which have drastically changed in 2026, just visit lightroommark.com, and below the introductory video, there's the upcoming events. If you go to the menu, you'll see all events. That's all the events for the upcoming year. And if you need help, support today with Lightroom Classic, you're struggling with some challenges, just click on the support button and I'm here to help you. Just like all the photographers I've helped for well over a decade now as a Lightroom educator. So without any further ado, let's jump across to the recording and happy photography.
All right, lovely to see you all, guys. And tonight we're going to look at the color channels of the tone curve. And
I found this on the web.
Oh, have you? Right, okay. We're going to look at that, and then we're going to look at the update Lightroom Classic version 12 and the new tools in version 12. And they've updated their artificial intelligence, AI, artificial intelligence. Yeah. They've updated that and some tools that they've given us, where last week or a few weeks ago when we were looking at selecting background masks, they've now added buttons and so on. So I'll show you the old way, just as a refresher, and I'll show you the new way. So what do you want to do first? Do you want to look at version 12, or would you like to look at the color channels in the tone curve?
Version 12.
Yeah.
Version 12.
Yeah.
Everyone want to do version 12 first?
Yeah.
That'll do, yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll do version 12 first then. Okay. So. Okie dokie. Hide this. Okay, so these images are in the shared folder. So you can practices and so on, etc. if you want to download and import them. They're stock images, they're free ones from Pixabay. So and I'm still learning with these new functionalities. So let's take this image here. So lovely Lego, and we press D to go, click on Lightroom, D to go in the develop module. Now the old way, we would have, the old way, we would have gone to our mask tool. Oh, see, look, it's the first time I've used it in this catalogue, so we'll get rid of those. Go to the mask tool, and we've got some new buttons. So in the old way, we would have gone select subject.
Are you sharing your screen, Mark?
Should have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
I've got it. Okay.
So I selected the subject. There's the subject. There's my mask. It's actually done a very good job. I think they've improved. Can you see the screen, Joan?
No.
What you got in front of you?
Can only see my Lightroom.
So it's sitting behind it then, I expect. If you
Maybe.
come down to the bottom, click on zoom.
Ah, yeah. Okay, got ya. Thank you.
Okay. So all I've done is select subject. Okay. So I've clicked on the mask, and it'll go green. Or if I show it anyway, it'll go green. Okay. And to select the background, it was easiest for us to select the subject and then come up to the mask, click on the three dots at the side, and we could invert mask, or there's a little box at the side here, invert mask, and it would literally flip it round. Okay. All right. So that's the way we used to do it a few weeks ago. Okay. So I'm going to delete the mask. So I'm in the mask tool. So it's exactly the same mask tool. It's now a button called background. Flip background and show the overlay. There you go. Okay. So it's in intensive purposes, it selects the subject and flips it automatically for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's new. Okay, so let's delete that. Okay, so we've got some new selection tools. So we can select subject, which is what we've looked at, but perhaps you only want to select this Lego man on the left in the red jacket. We come to the right-hand side, we've got select object. And this comes across from Photoshop. And it opens up a new panel, and we can have a brush mode, or we can have a rectangle mode. And if I use the rectangle mode, it draws a rectangle, and I draw around the subject. Turn on my overlay. And it should go green. There we go. And it's selected the subject. Okay. So very, very clever. And you can add to the subject if you wish. I'm going to show you the brush first. So I'm going to go select subject, but use brush. Okay. Oh, I didn't select subject. So let's get rid of that mask. I said I'm still playing, still understanding. So select subject, and it's selected all of them. Okay. So we'll delete that. Mask. So I'm going to go select object. I'm going to click on the brush, and I can choose any size of brush. There's no feather or anything, and I can just draw over it. Doesn't have to be precise, and it'll work it out for me. Turn the overlay out. See? Shall I show you that again? Because I cocked it up a little bit to start with. Okay. So select subject. Right. We'll select the actual subject itself for you. Okay, delete the mask. Come down to object. Okay, it brings up a little sub menu, and I've got brush and rectangle. Click on the brush, it'll give me the brush. And if I wanted to select this man, okay, make sure the overlay's turned on. I only selected the man, but it hasn't selected his arm. Okay, I didn't draw over the arm. So I go add, object, brush, make the brush smaller, and then just draw over the arm. Okay, there you go. And I've now selected the subject. Now what I could do is click on the mask, 3 dots, invert. So everything, not the man, bring down the exposure. Yeah, so now the man is a lot more bright. Yeah? Yeah? So much easier. Now this has all come from Photoshop. Okay? It's now in Lightroom because the competition has offered this in their photo editing software. Okay? So we've got that selection. This is masks that we've been looking at. Okay? We've got new clone heal tools, and we've got the erase brush. Okay? So I select the size of my brush, this one here, and I paint over, and it's creating its own mask. It's going around it. All right, let's see what happens. And okay, not brilliant. I've got opacity. Change the opacity. Can we hit the refresh button? It recomputes. Okay, not done a brilliant job. So I would go across to Photoshop to do that. Okay. I'm asking it to do something quite complex in the background.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Press refresh again. Let's have a look. It's refreshing it, but it's not doing a brilliant job in Lightroom. Lightroom's an editing tool. It's always been an editing tool. It's never been a manipulation tool. Okay. And I'm just doing Command Z to go jump back in my history. Okay. But let's try the heal tool. Okay. All right. So let's put a large feather on it, the largest brush. And now it uses the same, I clicked on this, uses the same type of technology. Okay, I've just changed the tool, the output, and it's using the magic wand tool is the closest to it in Photoshop. Okay. Not done a very good job there. And I could click on the selection area and move the selection area over. So it's a complicated background, okay? But what we can do is if I open up Photoshop, we'll have a look at it in Photoshop in a minute. All right. So we have got the clone and the heal tool, exactly the same, but we've got this erase tool now. Okay. Let's have a look at see what I've got as another image to erase. Let's go on this one here, D. All right, let's go to my erase tool. Let's try something that's not so complicated. See how good this is. Okay, let's have a look. No, not done that very good at all. Let's refresh. Let's take the size down. Recompute. So it's doing quite a lot of stuff. So it's not working what I call brilliantly, but let's go on a small bit down here. There you go. So it's done quite good there.
Mm.
Okay, let's make it a bit smaller, the brush. Make the brush smaller again. Let's come down a bit more. Right, there we go. And let's take, that's what it's designed for.
Mm.
Okay, small areas. Okay. All right, so we go G. Let's go back to this one. I'm going to go right click, edit in, Photoshop 213.
Right.
Sorry, Bobby?
223.
What did I say?
213.
Did I? Well, I'd like the last 10 years back.
So would I.
Now,
But know what I know now.
Yeah. I can't get Photoshop when I go from Lightroom. I end up with Lightroom.
Have you downloaded it for starters?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
can. Yeah.
Interesting. It's probably thinking. Let's leave that chugging away. Yeah, it's thinking. Close it down, restart it.
This is in Photoshop.
Sorry, Bobby?
So I'm talking to myself.
Editing, Photoshop 213. Just go original. There we go, opening. There we go. It's possibly because the first time I'd done this. So we've got different tools. So this is the object selection tool, exactly what is in Lightroom now. So we just draw around it. Okay, it's now selected the subject. It's gone all the way around the subject perfectly. Okay, but I might want to take the selection, modified selection, expand it by 5 pixels. So it's gone slightly out, only a few pixels. And then I'm going to go edit, content aware fill. Okay, let's make this side a bit smaller. Come on. Oops, what did I do there? Clicked on there. Let's make the preview. Yeah, there we go. Come on. Set my mouse. Should now be able to, there we go, trying to get in the right spot to, okay, so it's now, this is the finished image on the right, sorry, this is the image that I'm editing, okay? So I can take the brush tool and I can take some of my mask away by using the minus, okay? So just taking a bit off. So all I'm doing is I'm removing the selection from the rest of the subject. Let's see what happens. It recomputes. Bit better. Okay, so, right, and I can go plus on the paintbrush and take some more area. So just take some of this, and the green, you can change the color of the mask. So sample overlay is currently green. I can change it to a red if I want. That might be easier for me. Okay. So let's paint that bit in there. And there. Okay. And then I'm going to go back to negative, top left-hand corner. Just going to take a bit away from there. Okay. So it's not too bad on that side. So I press OK now. All right, deselect. Okay, not too bad. Yeah, I'd spend a lot more time. And this is a manipulation. Okay, it's not an edit, it's a manipulation. And you would now just go File, Save. Okay. And it would take it back to Lightroom for you. Okay. And it would appear next to it in Lightroom. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So there's lots of things we can do here. So let's have a look at this one. So let's have a look at my notes. What I've written. Oh, we'll go on to portraits now. So let's take this selection, object, rectangle. I want to select the mountains. Okay. So I've just got a rectangle and I'm going to start. Let's start here, bottom left, right hand corner. And I'm just going to go there. And let's see what it does. Turn my overlay on. And there you go. It's selected the mountains. I've just drawn roughly on the mountains and it's selected it. Absolutely brilliant what they've done.
Mm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So we've done background, we've done that, done that. Clone stamp tool, we've done that. Oh, right. Okay. So before we go on to the portraits, if you go into Lightroom Classic Preferences, and where is it? Interface. There we go. Interface. Now, anyone left-handed?
No.
No.
Okay. So, well, if you know anyone left-handed, you can swap now the panel on the left and the panel on the right, and you've got swap left and right. Okay. So historically, all the panels have been on the left, the major panels, and some on the right. Okay. But you can swap them around. So if you were left-handed and you wanted the develop panel, this panel here on this side, on the left-hand side, you could swap it now. Okay. Left-handed. So if I was left-handed using a left-handed tablet, I'll be jumping like this, left only halfway, rather than going all the way over and all the way back and all the way over and all the way back. All right.
Mm.
So that's a nice little touch that they've finally brought in. They must be reading about post-humanism at the moment. That's that. Right. So let's now have a look at, which I'm still learning. So do forgive me on this one because it's only been out a few days. Okay. People. I don't do a lot, or I don't now do a lot of people photography. But under masks, we've got people, right? And if we wait, can you see people? And it's automatically selected the people. Can you see that?
Mhm.
Person 1, person 2, person 3. Okay. We can select all of them. We can select one of them. And then it starts detecting. So there's the whole entire person. We untick the box. we can just take the face. And it's highlighted the face. But if we really look, no eyes, no mouth and teeth. We can add skin. So now it's done the ears and the neck and the hand. Okay. All right. But here's the great bit. Eyebrows.
Fashionable.
Right. The white parts of the eyes. The irises. Lips. And here we go. If you've got somebody that smokes, teeth. Okay. So we can now whiten the teeth. And then we got hair. Okay. So you can individually create masks. So we're on teeth here. Okay. And now we can go create mask. And it's exactly the same as what we had before. So now I'm on the mark and I can make the teeth brighter. Okay. Right, look. Right. Right, okay.
Yeah, great.
But Lightroom is using its intelligence, and I could let's say the color balance was off on each of the faces. I could bring the color balance using the temperature slider, so they're all the same. Yeah. It really is. So you select your mask. It really is quite powerful. All right. So powerful. Create a new mask. Okay. Select people and hit him now. Okay. I can add a person, so I can select her as well and the other person. So I've selected all three people in the picture. And I say, right, now, I don't want the entire person. I want their face color and body skin. Okay. So turn the overlay on. There you go. And now I want to make them. So create the mask. So all you're doing is creating a mask. Okay. You're not doing any adjustments yet. Now you do. So there's the mask. Now I can make them brighter. And they're all brighter. The hands, the face, the neck. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. Game changer.
Saved going to the dentist, won't it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It's cheaper at £10 a month.
Yeah. I could be quite rude there. So a black person could go and make themselves white.
You could. Or you could make them pink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you could check, right? So we're going to go new mask. Okay. So we're going to go select people. Going to click on her. Going to go hair. Create the mask. So I'm selecting her hair. Going to turn the mask on. Okay. And yes, I will rename them all. But I could change the color of her hair. If it hurries up. Should change the color of her hair. So come on. Why isn't it changing the color of her hair?
Can you fine tune that mask around the edges? Like his blue jacket is gone a bit red.
Yeah. Yes, exactly the same. So you click on it, go subtract, brush, small brush, and just paint it away.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just paint it away. All right. I think the reason why the colour of the hair is I'm doing lots of things. All right. So really, really powerful what they've brought into version 12. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's basically the main things they've done. Right. But here's the punchline. It's exactly the same on your iPad and exactly the same on a web browser and your phone. Everything I've just shown you is in Classic, but it's the same in Lightroom, on your tablet, on a web browser, and on your phone. Okay? So if you have an iPad with an Apple Pencil, or I've got a Wacom tablet with a pencil, and so on, you can really you can pinch in and make sure that mask is right and so on using your pencil. Absolutely brilliant. Okay.
Yeah, really good.
So that is basically what they've done in 12. Okay. So in the last, I think it was Lightroom 10, they brought masks out. 11, they improved them, and 12 they've improved them even more. Okay, and bought in Lightroom 11 a year ago. Yeah, David, I did a special thing, wasn't it? It was half term, which is this week. I forgot it was half term this week. We did a special one, and Bobby was there, and Tony was there, and David, where we looked at Lightroom 11 and the things that we're doing. Well, this is October. If you don't know, October each year is Adobe Max, where sometimes it's in a conference, a real in-person conference. So they've done it in London. They've done it. They take it all around the world, but they stream it online at the same time. And you can see all this, and you can book in free of charge because you're already paying the subscription, and you can see all the live stuff and everything what they're doing, whether it's Illustrator, InDesign, Photoshop, Lightroom, and so on. So yeah. So this came out Tuesday last week. All right.
Yep.
Anyone got any questions about that?
No, thank you.
No. Okay, so let's choose an image. Which one should we do? So has everyone got image 983, which was in the folder 3rd of the 10th? I share my screen. I'm going to find the zoom button. What have I done? There it is. Share screen.
I'm not sure.
So 983, and it's in the 3rd. This one here, 3rd of the 10th. So it's in the last folder. Everyone got this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to build and build and build and build. So it's a bit repetitive. So would you like me to show you do it going up to the virtual copy? Or are we all happy in straightening the horizon, doing our black point, white points, getting our exposure right and so on? Or would you like me to show you and then we do it all together?
I can't even find it yet.
Bobby, it should be in the folder called Images. So it was Lightroom Monday.
I've got to go to Lightroom, haven't I?
Images. And it should be in the 3rd of the 10th.
Yeah, I know. I've got to get Lightroom up, haven't I?
Okay.
Can't even
So if I show you,
Yeah,
so
go on
first
then.
thing I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten the image. So I've clicked R for rotate. I've clicked on the angle tool. And if you just watch, and then what we'll do is we'll do it together. And I'll just drawing a straight line. And that's made the horizon straight. Okay. So I can just press enter. And do I like it? Don't I like it like that? It's personal choice. You can move the slider. Okay. What might be technically right might not be visually right. Okay. So I prefer it slightly, but it's fine. Okay. So I've just done that. So I'm going to turn on my lens profiles, and that will warp the image. It will make some corrections for the round glass. Okay. And then I'm going to come to my basic panel, and I'm just going to click auto on the white balance. Okay, brought it a bit warmer. Actually, I'm going to turn it down a little bit, I think. Make it a bit cooler. That's a bit better. For a little bit cooler. And then I'm going to set my black and white points. So I'm going to hold my Option key, which is Alt, I think, on our PC. And I'm pulling the black slider to the left and waiting till I get some meaningful black. So I'm around about 45, 40, something like that. And then I'm going to move my white slider to the right by holding my Alt and Option key until I get some blue. Bring it back, something like that. So I'm about let's go plus 30. So I've now expanded my whole dynamic range. And now I'm going to look at it visually and look at my beak. And I'm just actually going to knock my blacks a little bit further down because I'm looking at my histogram and there's very little black detail. So what I'm telling Lightroom is what is black. I'm setting my black point. I'm looking at my black beak Okay, I really want that really black. And I'm looking at my histogram and the values of the histogram, and I've got this space here on the left, so I can really start pushing it down. Okay, so I'm crushing the blacks. I'm telling Lightroom what black is. Yeah, if you press the letter J on your keyboard, that'll give you the clipping tool, and if you look in the histogram, you get the white boxes. Okay, and if we look at the bird, you can see it's gone blue, the eye's gone blue, the beak's gone blue, so it's blacker than black. So I could move the right, but they're not meaningful black. They're going to be black whatever happens. They're not meaningful blacks. Okay, so there's my image there. I'm going to bring my highlights down a little bit. Okay, and I'm relatively happy there. And what would be the last thing I did? Anybody?
What?
What's the last thing I will do before I create a virtual copy?
Crop? No, don't crop it.
Giving you a clue, I've opened the panel.
Your spots.
Well done. So I'm going to go to 200%. Page up. Top left-hand corner. Going to put the erase tool on. Visible spots. And then I'm just going to jump down to see if there's anything. And there isn't. My sensor must have been clean that day. Now I'm going to turn my visible spot off. So I'm now looking at color. So I'm looking for any distractions that I want to remove. Okay, and there isn't any. So we're done. So I'm going to close the tool, close the panel, a space bar. Okay, so I've done a basic edit. All right, that's my starting point. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So do we want to do it together?
Nope.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and there's no particular order. All right, so I'll share screen and I'll reset. And some of you might want to go along with me. Some of you might want to do it on your own steam. So for me, this particular image, I want to create that horizon. It's distracting. Okay, so R brings up, and if you press O, that's overlay, changes the grid. Okay, all right. You just cycle through the grids, and different images will be different things. You can either use the slider, okay, and give you what you want. Okay, and press return. Okay, everyone all right with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, and you can go back and adjust it at any point. So I want to bring it down slightly to the right, I think, in my case. Gone back and adjusted it. And you can do that at any point. Okay, right. So, and you can change all these things when you want. You don't have to turn your lens profile on, but with certain wide angle lenses, you'll see it snap. And this is a 50mm, so you won't get any change in the distorting camera profile. We won't worry about that tonight. So now white balance. So what colors, you know, how warm and cold, and you can sit there and just move the slider. Okay, double click on it. Take the pipette if you want and choose something that you think is 50% grey. And actually, that's pretty good spot just there, 50% grey. Okay, 4,700. You can type in the box 4,700 degrees Kelvin if you want. Okay, it's up to you. You can check. You can take cloudy. Cloudy's 6,500. It's made it a lot warmer, more green. Okay, 4,700 ticked in the box. Made it bluer. Okay, now you've seen the difference in colour. I go undo. 6,500. Look at the difference. Select 4,000. Yeah. Look how blue that is. And this is why we move the slider. But we move it in jumps so we can see it, and then we refine in how do we want it. Okay, so I've now gone to 5,250. Not so blue and not so green. It's a matter of taste. That's all it is. Okay. Eyes. See, if you drink coffee or red wine, your eyes will need more saturation. Okay.
Who told you what I had in this mug?
Well, I did see your good lady come in, and I did think, oh no, cake tonight. What's going on there?
That was earlier.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Sorry.
So everyone all right with that? So we've got a nicely balanced color light. We've corrected the horizon. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we press the Alt or the Option key. We're going to go on the black slider. Blacks are to the left. And all we're doing is we're setting with Lightroom what is black. We're telling it what is black. Yeah. I hand you an apple, tell you an apple. And if you trust me, you believe it's an apple. Yeah. And that's what I'm doing. And it's so subjective. By holding the Option key, it gives a white screen and you can see what black is. It starts coming up. Okay. And then you might want to do it by visual afterwards. You know, what is numerically and technically correct doesn't mean it's visually correct. Press J for the clipping tool. That gives you the white boxes in the histogram, and you can move it. Okay, looking at the histogram, and the blue's starting to come up. See, underneath the tip of the wing, on the beak, on his foot, starting to go blue. That's the clipping tool. That's J. Okay, so I'll just take it back a bit. But the black of the beak is always going to be black. The eye is always going to be black. So I call it meaningful black. Okay, some things you'll want to be crushed to black. You want them really black. Okay. And same with the white. You're telling Lightroom what is white. Look at the histogram. Right, it's pushing it to the right. Now I've got that red spot. That's overexposed. There's no data there. And I'm just going to bring it back to a natural point, something like there, 25. And you are making the things black and making the things white. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You all right with that, Sue?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So what do we do next? We did the spots, didn't we? We don't need to do the spots, but we know how to do that. Just going to bring down the highlights a little bit. Okay. So I'm bringing down that part of the histogram, the top right-hand part of the histogram, the values there, whatever's in there, I'm bringing them down. I'm doing everything globally. I'm setting myself a happy point with basic edits. Before I stylize, before I do local adjustments and all those type of things, and how I want to do things and how I want to tell my story, yeah, I'm just setting some local, bits and pieces, or global settings and that I'm comfortable with. And I'm going to go back to the crop tool again, and I'm just going to move it a bit more. I shot this straight. I know I shot this straight because I had the gimbal on my phone. That's now pointing down to the left. So let's bring it back. And you can keep adjusting it. Okay. All right. We happy with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, who knows what a virtual copy is?
Piece of tracing paper.
Yeah. Well, that's how I describe it, because we can all understand what a piece of tracing paper is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It creates a second copy. Okay. It's like having a second file. All right. At that precise moment in time that you make the virtual copy, it's like going file, save as, and you've got a second file. But it doesn't make a file. What it does, it duplicates the line in the catalog at that moment in time. That's the important thing, at that moment in time. Okay? And you have two side by side. Right? Remember that point, side by side. All right? So you can create virtual copies off virtual copies. All right? All it's doing, it's duplicating that line of information in the database again. Okay? that visually you can have all your virtual copies in front of you. So you can have a gallery of your main image, your master image, okay, the actual file, and all your virtual copies. Okay, so you can see them on one screen.
How do you do that?
Right click virtual copy.
No, I know the virtual. Right.
All right. So if I wanted to create a virtual copy of this image, right click, create virtual copy.
Oh, I know that bit. I meant how do you do the gallery?
Well, press G and they're there.
Oh,
There's the two images.
Okay.
There's the two images there. Okay, press N, they're side by side. Okay, press G, grid. I go back to that one again, virtual copy, right click, virtual copy. There's three.
Okay.
Okay, so I select the three, press N, there they are.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, right. But they're all side by side. You can tell they're a virtual copy. It's turned over in the corner. If you go to in your grid view, if you go to attributes, and the middle one icon on the right-hand side is virtual copies. There's all my virtual copies. Okay, if I turn it off, click on the first one, there's all my files. Okay. Virtual copies, files. Okay.
Yeah.
And it actually, if you hover over it, it'll actually say it. And there's my videos. I've got no videos. Okay. But there's my three images. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I could do, if I'm following my workflow precisely, I will create. So there's my three images, and I'll come to my collections, create a collection. It is 2022, 1024. Going to tick the box, include selected photos. Going to turn off make virtual copies, create. There's the three images that I'm working on. Yeah. And I could make one. So go D. I could make one black and white. Go back G, grid, next one. I could make this a sepia one. So if I come to my presets, and let's just have a quick look. Let's move you out of the way. And let's see what I've got in here. These are the standard presets. So there's a preset there. Let's have a look, see what else is a black and white. Let's see what we've got under retro. All right, so there's a preset. And all it's doing is it's changing these sliders in the basic panel. Okay, I was seeing if I had a sepia one, vintage. Let's have a look under vintage. That's just an effect. I think. Let's have a look under the standard black and white. There we go, sepia tone. So there's a sepia tone one. Okay, slightly brown, yeah? So I'll look in selenium. No, we'll go sepia, that one there. Okay, so I'll go back to G. All right, I'll go back to my master copy. Create virtual copy. It's made another one. Go D. Just going to punch that with a bit of, choose this one. There we go. Okay, G. So I've now got N shortcut. Got 4 different versions and I can see them on the screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All side by side. Which ones do I like? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm now going to show you something that I've started to use, and that's snapshots. Okay. So let's just move this, do this, snapshots. Snapshots, you're recording at a moment in time. So I'm just going to call this image. Okay. Boom. But now I want to crop this, and I'm going to crop this with an aspect ratio of 16:9. Okay. And I'm just going to make it a bit smaller. Put the bird in the middle. There we go. And I'm going to create this aspect. So crop 16:9. Okay, right. Let's go close. And I've now got 2 different variations at that moment in time. You can go back to this one, and I might say, right, I want to create another crop. And I'm just using crop as an example, 10 by 8. This is an aspect ratio 10 by 8. Okay. There we go. Press close. There it is. And I'm going to create 10 by 8. Okay. So I can now, there's the original. There's my, right. And I could turn around and say, right, let's pump up the exposure on this one. Let's bring down the blacks. Press J. Look at that edit. Right. And it's applied it to the images, but the crops are different. So it's recording aspect ratios and settings on the one image. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's recording that moment in time on the image. All right. Okay. So when you want to create different sizes, for example, in crop, you can use snapshot, but you can't see them all across your images. Yeah. As in, like when we had the gallery, you don't get that. You've got to click on each individual one. Yeah. So you can't have them all side by side. All right. So to do the same thing, I go G. Okay. To do the same thing, let's create let's create a couple of virtual copies. All right. So I think that was the one that was virtual copy. So let's put that there. To do the same thing with these, I'd have to go D, then crop. Okay. We'll put this as 16 by 9. 16 by 9, 16 by 9, there we go. Okay. And done. Okay. And now G. Okay. So now you can see there's my 16 by 9 down bottom right hand corner. Okay. All right. So the virtual copies are for like editing, where this is for if you want, you've edited it, but you want to see it in different sizes and different edits and all, but you only get it on one screen. Yeah. Unless you've got a second screen, you can have, obviously. Yeah. You can have the image being previewed on another screen while you're editing it. Does that make sense? The difference between, yeah, one is you can see all of them. One is you have to click and they change the view. Yeah.
Did you put the size in, Mark?
Sorry?
How did you put the size in?
Yeah, I'll show you. Yeah. Okay, so Lightroom is non-destructive, so it's D for develop. You hit R, or you can go straight in for R, which is rotation, but it's also the crop tool. And right-hand side, you have got a padlock, which you can unlock. If you have the padlock on, it stays in the original aspect ratio, which full frame is 3 by 2. Right? So when you start moving, it's staying in this aspect ratio of the crop. So if I go back to original, that's a 3 by 2. Padlock is on. Right, it stays the same, 3 by 2. Right, so it's proportional. If I take the padlock off, I can adjust whatever I want. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
The padlock here, and then if you click on the by the side of it, you've got custom, original, okay, as shot, okay, and then you got 1 by 1. So you got all these presets, 10 by 8, and if you want to change you just drag it and it flips. See, portrait, landscape. I'm going diagonal with my mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Portrait, landscape. Portrait, landscape. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then if you put your finger in the middle and click on the image, you're not moving the crop, you're moving the image. Okay. So the light bit of the screen is your final print, if you want to say. Yeah. And now I'm positioning it. So it's like having a picture frame. You know, you've got that mask with the hole in the middle. Yeah. The outside is outside the frame. This is what's going in the hole. Yeah. And you can change 16 by 9. Okay, so that's more like, so if you were doing a slideshow for your TV and you've got a 4K TV and it's 16:9 aspect ratio, you would have all your images like this. Okay?
Yeah.
And they would appear like this on the screen. Where if you had them like that, your screen would cut off a bit at the top, bit at the bottom, a bit at the side, because you're not presenting the file as the screen wants it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? That makes sense to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get back to where I was. Getting sidetracked. Good at that.
All useful stuff.
Well, it's
I've learned stuff from what you've just said. So
well, I learn every day.
Yeah,
It's only an idiot that knows it all, or a fool, or whatever you want to say. And there are tools that Lightroom have brought out, and I go, why would I want to use that? The classic example that I do refer to is color labels on folders and collections. I couldn't see a reason to that, but about 6 months went past, and actually I could do that. I've been using Lightroom Classic since version 2, so 12, 14 years. I've never, ever really used the star rating. I now do, because I have my camera set that I press in playback mode, one of the buttons on the front of the camera. I look at the image, go, yes, that's the keeper. I press the button, it adds 1 star to the image just by pressing a one button. I haven't got to go play, arrow up, press another button and so on. I've assigned one button in playback mode. So as I go play, right, press OK, it zooms in at 100%, press OK again. Yes, that's the keeper. I press one of the buttons on the front of the camera and it puts 1 star on it. And then when I import them into Lightroom, I have a smart collection. Show me all my 1-star images. That then is telling me that I selected that picture in the field. It must have been a good picture. So I've speeded up my workflow. And it wasn't until I thought outside the box or differently or whatever that actually I could connect my workflow from sitting in the field, lying on my belly, like last Saturday, doing loads of deer photography at sunrise. I'm sitting there with my Z9, my 800mm, taking pictures, and the deer have gone behind the bush. So I've got a few minutes. I'm looking at the back. I'm looking like this. Camera's out like this. I'm looking. I'm going play. I press the button at the front, and I'm starring them, which means when I get back to here, I've already got the ones that I've chosen. I might unstar them, saying, no, it looked better on the back of the screen. It's not. But I've speeded up my workflow. And it wasn't until a few months ago I ever used it. So it's what do I say? A good trainer is all about giving you the tools and trying to provoke a conversation in how to use them or what do you want to use them for. Not to tell you how to use them, because people come up with different ways. Oh, it wasn't invented to do that, but that's the way I use it. Yeah? Mm-hmm. And then people go, that's a good idea, and everyone else starts adopting it. Yeah? Well, there's now buttons on your lenses. Tony, on your R5, on that, you got that 200, 500, haven't you?
200 to 500?
Yeah.
100 to 500.
Oh, is it 100 to 500? It's got a couple of buttons on the lenses.
It has, yes.
Yeah. And you can assign them to different focus points. So you could be taking pictures, let's say, of birds at, what's it, Ham Wall, isn't it?
Yeah.
You got a swan down there, which is 10 feet in front of you, but you've got a heron over there, which is 500 yards away. And you can lock that focus point and assign it to the button, move around there, focus on that swan, lock another button to that focus point, and rather than your camera, when you go like this and like this, you press the button, the camera automatically jumps to that focus point, that distance, that focal distance. Yeah. So the camera's responding quicker to your movement rather than trying to focus. What am I focusing on? You know, you're working a little bit more smarter than harder, I call it. Yeah, but you're using the technology to do that. And you can assign the buttons to whatever you want. And they're so simple to assign, you know, on your lenses or on your cameras and so on. The problem is we forget what we assign them for.
Yeah.
So that's the week, especially when, you know, I've got a Z5, which is my walk around camera. I've got a Z6 II, which is my videography and low light camera. I've got I've got two Z7 IIs now because I've just bought another one, and I've got a Z9. Now the 5, 6, and 7s are identical, apart from a few menu things in the 5. I've set all the buttons the same. So the function 2 on the front is 1-star rating. Function 2 on my Z9 is 1-star rating, because I can't remember all the bloody, what have I signed this one for? So they're all the same. All my I menus, which are, you press I menu button and it comes up. Does the Canons do that, John? Do you have a quick menu, a Q menu? Is it on Canon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Q member, yeah. Nick on his eye. You press Q and it comes up with a group of, let's say, 8 buttons that you can touch. Yeah, or you can scroll across and press OK or whatever, use your wheel. Yeah, and you can customize them. Well, in my case, for all my cameras, they're all the same. So C1 or U1 for Canon, C2, U2, they're all exactly the same, because I'm the weak link. Yeah. So and I think I'm going to put on the bottom of the cameras, are going to put a little sticky label, U1 sports, U2 landscapes, because I even forget what I do, or S1, S2, S3, or C, whatever it is. I forget what they are. So, but there we go. So anyway, right. I digress, as I usually rabbit on. It's 8 o'clock. It's so where have we got? Do we want to go through this? Have we done this, didn't we? Has everyone done this? We've done our basics.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
yeah, you're happy with that? You've done all that?
Well, I haven't done it because my laptop's still doing things, and I'm not going
Well,
to
you can do
upset
it on your
it.
desktop. You can do it on your web browser. No? Right, okay. So new masking tools. Background. Okay, it's selected the background. I'm going to turn the overlay on. Go across to it. And it will go green in a second. There we go. And I'm going to just bring down the exposure slightly. Okay, I'm going to go plus, select subject. Well, let's go select object this time. I'm going to go select object. I'm going to draw a box around the bird. Let's see how good it does. Let's go turn the overlay on. I'm not naming them at the moment. Okay, let's see. Yeah, look, and it's even this week, last week when we used subject selection, I had to paint the feet in. It's now painted in all the feet. And I'm going to turn up the exposure. I'm going to bring some separation in. Okay. So everyone want to have a go at that quickly?
Yeah.
We'll do them the new way. Hit the selection tool. Okay. Select background. Take the exposure down. Okay. Then hit new mask. Select object. Draw a box around it. Okay. Everyone all right with that?
Mm-hmm.
Move on. So I'm not going to do any masks, radial masks or anything like that. We're going to go now to the tone curve. All right. Okay. So I'm going to use the parametric curve, which is the range. Okay, I'm going to click on the pipette, and I'm just going to click in the sky, and I'm just going to bring the sky tonal value down. Okay, you can see my point that's in the tone curve. It's about 3/4 of the way up on the right hand side, just making the clouds a bit darker. Okay, I've still got the pipette tool. I'm going to go to another point, and I'm just going to pick something neutral on the wall, and I'm just going to bring the wall down slightly. Okay, so now my eyes bring drawn a lot more. It might be too much, so I'm just going to go back to my tone curve, take it up slightly. Okay, take up the highlights a little bit, and then just adjust with it. Take my mid-tones. I'm now clicking in the histogram, just moving it up. Just literally, I'm dragging up. Or you could use sliders. Okay, and this is independent of the basic panel. These aren't changing. Okay, at the moment, I'm just playing with the values of light. Okay. Okay, so have a go at hitting the pipette tool. So where it says adjust, hit the next one over, which is the parametric tool. I think it's pronounced parametric. Hit that one, and that means you'll get the zones around the tone curve. Okay, then hit the little pipette tool, top left-hand corner of and then a part of the tonal color. We're just looking at tones. We looked at it last week. The tonal color. Just something you want to make darker, something you want to make lighter, and just gently make it go up and go down. Okay, so I'm going to click in the white bit of the sky, just go up, it makes it brighter. It's a global adjustment, but on that tonal value. Okay, really, really powerful, especially landscape photography. Really, really powerful because it's that precise tonal value. Mastering the tone curve will make the light and day with your images. And there's no right or wrong answer. This is where you start using virtual copies. So you might get to a point and say, I like that, create a virtual copy, and then start playing that one on the tone curve. Everyone all right with that?
Mm-hmm.
We move on? Or do you want a few more seconds? Yeah, move on?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So, red, green, and blue. You know, we have primary colours in paint. Yeah, so you take red and white, it makes pink. Yeah, and I don't know how many primary colours there are in paint, but you can make any combination of percentages of that paint. Well, it's the same with digital technology or monitors. It's red, green, and blue. Okay, RGB. Okay, and you can adjust independently those channels, so you can increase the reds, you can decrease the reds, increase the greens, decrease the greens, increase the blues, decrease the blues. And it's like tone, keep giving it a tone. So we can click on the red and you can see, I don't know how it comes across on the Zoom, but can you see the top part of the histogram is slightly redder?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if I start increasing, look now at the reds in the grass. Yeah. And look at the red in the concrete on the wall. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really, really powerful tool somebody here keeps asking me how you make your colours like that in the skies and so on. And it's a mixture of using this. Okay, because again, I'm going to click on the little pipette tool and I'm just going to go up and I'm going to go down. Look, see? Look at the red now in the wall. Yeah, it's just doing the wall. Where before it was doing the grass as well. It's just doing the wall here. I'm clicking on the wall, going up. Now I've gone a bit too much. It's as in it's affecting the rest of the wall or the rest of the image. Okay, so subtly, so reset the channel, which is the reds. I can choose points and say, right, let's bring the red, take the red away from the grass. You can see it's now gone greener. Yeah. Okay. So again, so if I want to play with the greens, I would play with greens differently than doing this. I will show you in a second. Right. So it's going very blue, magenta. Yeah. But you might want that style of image. Okay. And it's about playing with them. So blue again. Okay. And it's creating a tone on a tonal value of that color. You're playing with the greens. Okay. So that's made that image very green, but very dirty. Okay. All right. Now, to answer my question, I'd go to the hue saturation and I would change the yellows. Right? I've brought down the saturation of the yellows. It's not so vibrant. So we get some images. Let's see if I've got one in here. Let's have a look. See if here we go. Okay, so we've got this green grass, yeah? So, you know, sometimes you get this green, the grass is really, really green and vivid. So I bring down the yellows and it's bringing down the strength, excuse me, of the greens here. So they're not so green and punchy. Okay, and I might do that. So I don't touch the green slide, it's the yellows. It's the yellows that make it brighter. So I'll bring down the yellows in the green colors. Okay, might even use the pipette. Okay, can you see? Yeah. So I know that's the brightness. Luminance is brightness. Saturation is how vivid, how strong dilution. So if you think of saturation as Ribena, if you put a little drop in, it's not very strong in taste. If you put a lot in, it'll be quite strong blackcurranty taste, but also the color. It won't be transparent. Okay. So if you think of saturation like that, and hue is the color itself, changing the color. So if I click on there, I can change the color of that green if I so wish. Click on the hue. There. I can now change, see it's green and going a browny color now. Okay. So that's the way I use it there rather than the tone. But there's no right or wrong way. So same here. You know, I can bring, see now that image is going very, yeah, going very greeny. I'm on the blue channel, increasing the blues, taking the blues away, it goes green. Yeah. I'll go to the green channel. Yeah. Adding the greens, making it very greeny. Yeah. But it's doing it in the tonal value of that green. All right. So it's taking it towards the red is the opposite of the green. All right. And you use these very sparingly. So you might create a virtual copy and play with it and go, oh, I like this, I like that, and so then go back to the one you're editing on and apply that effect to it. Okay? That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You want to have a go quickly?
Mm-hmm.
There's no right or wrong answer. So, everyone understood that?
Mm-hmm.
You want to go back
Yeah.
through anything with that?
Well, I've got the bird up now, so I'm messing about with that.
Okay.
But I can't get, when I get the mask, I can't find that little thing in the corner.
What little thing?
I'll tell you in a minute.
What? Describe to me what you're trying to do, Bobby.
Well, I've got the mask up, I've got the overlay showing, but there's a thing that was in the left-hand top corner, and I haven't got it.
What, the little dots?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's on the top mask, the top level.
I've got mask there. It's written mask.
Yeah,
And it
and
says
go across to
create
the
mask.
right. Go across to the right.
Yeah,
It'll appear, the 3 dots.
no, I've got none. Oh, I've got 3 dots down the bottom by the colour of
There
the
you go
overlay.
then. Okay, so it's slightly different because you're PC, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right. So
So it's-
that tone curve is really, really powerful for creating tonality of light, the way we want people to look at things, and
Yeah.
selecting areas, making them darker and lighter. Brilliant for landscapes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then colours bring to add or reduce the red, greens, and blues in colours by value. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, really, really powerful. And if you can master it, and it's something that,
Ooh.
I never use it, you'll never master it. And I some images I use it, some images I don't, and so on. Really, and it's subtleties of light. But yeah. So that image, Sue, that you got on that piece of writing the other day, that image was all done in the tone curve. And all the subtleties of all the lights, of all the colours. And that probably took me about 3 weeks to do that image, because that's a massive, great big image, that is. That's one of my title images. I kept going backwards and forwards, creating snapshots, because it was an important image to me. Kept going backwards and forwards, walking away, coming back a day later, doing 10 minutes, little areas and masks and so on, tone curve, adjusting it, then going away, because I knew it was my title image. And I knew I was going to create a big 4-foot print. It had to be right. I just getting backwards and forwards, and then so it's took quite a while to do it. But if I actually did it, I probably spent 3 hours in it over 10 days or whatever it was. But because my eyes left it, my eyes were coming back neutral again to look at it. Right. So anything you want to go back over version 12 again?
No, don't think so. Thank you.
No. So we've looked at the tone curve. We've done some snapshots and virtual copies. The difference, virtual copies, the images are stacked on top of each other, basically. So you use it for crop and things like that. And so on. You can use it for other things as well. Virtual copies, it's like having separate files. Okay. My preference is separate files until I get to the end of it. And then I might want to play with crops and so on, etc. Then I might use snapshots there. Right. Dread this question. Who's got any questions? I know somebody else.
I've got one question. When we finish altering this photograph, can we save it?
You don't save anything.
You don't. So
You don't save anything in Lightroom. It's all live. It writes it in every time you do something, it writes it in the database. Just like Google. Every time you type a letter into their browser, they record it. Okay? There's no saving process. When you've finished your edits and you're happy with it, you export it and put it somewhere.
Okay.
All right. It's not like Photoshop. You go save and saves it. Okay. Yeah. That's the beauty of a catalogue program.
Okay.
Go on then, Jane. What's your one question for tonight? I'm rationing Jane now.
When you show your photos in your gallery and you've got like the numbers 1, 2, whatever above them, how do you get them?
Well, that's a library module. That is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a library module. So.
Yeah, them.
Yeah. Well, these are right. Okay. Do you know what the numbers are?
No, I haven't got a clue.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's the 7th image.
Oh,
8,
yeah.
9,
I know that.
10,
Yeah.
All right. That's the 15th image. That's the 30th image. In this group, there's 31 images. Okay. So go under view, grid style. You've got here. Show badges, show extras, show compact cell, extended cell. Extended cell is this information here. Okay, but it takes away the number. Okay, so I go back to view options, grid style, compact shows the image. Okay, but I don't use that in my main catalog. That's what it comes out as default. In my main catalog, I have extended view. Okay, and then if I go to viewing options, okay, grid view, down the bottom here, these from the drop downs, you can select what you want to show in the, so you get 4, if I, can you see there's the file name?
Yeah.
And then underneath it, in this case, it's dimensions, file type, and megabits. Okay. So you can put in there whatever you want, and you can actually click there and change it yourself. Okay. Rather than going to that menu. Down the bottom, I've got stars and I've got color labels. Okay. And it makes it red. Okay. And if I go pick, okay, top right hand corner, it's got the pick flag. Okay.
Lovely.
All right.
I think that was nice and easy.
Okay. So there are the library module is the most important part, because if you can't find it and you don't use smart collections, you spend so much time trying to find it. So having a methodical way of how you file your images and use collections can save so much time. You know, it's like today I wanted a dozen pictures for a slideshow, Exmoor Pony slideshow. And I just went one click and there they are. And I just created another collection and just highlighted them, go right click, add to collection, boom, that was it, done. And I just had a temporary collection to create a slideshow. And let's just... Select the browser. So, share screen. So, remember we did the slideshow module? It says, there we go. Okay. So, and that's all done in Lightroom Classic. And that's done with the 16 by 9 is the 4K or 1080 aspect ratio. So all films are shown 16 by 9, or the majority of films are shot these days in 16 by 9. So I created a collection, made it as a virtual copy, had all the images I wanted in there. I selected them all. I made them all a 16 by 9 ratio, synced them, added them to a collection, as I say, and then I went into the slideshow module, just put that on a selected white background, put Exmoor Ponies as a title, put a drop shadow on the images, pressed plus, selected some free music, and just went create. And it created it in seconds. I think that took me no more than 2 minutes to create that slideshow. It took me longer to upload it to YouTube and Vimeo than it actually took me to create the slideshow.
Wow.
And I thought a slideshow would be better than just having a standard gallery. I'll have a little video. And all within Lightroom Classic. So you can do it in Lightroom, but you can't put music with it and so on that I'm aware of. In Classic, you get a lot more functionality, and you can set it as auto. So it takes the length of the music. So if it was a 3-minute music track, it would set out the images, space them evenly for the music. Or you can sit and say, right, I want the image to be on for 10 seconds, which I think I did, and then the fade to be 2 seconds, and it will play the music. It will start the music again and then fade it over. So as it gets to the end, so that I think is a 1.5 minute free music from YouTube, where I wanted that time period over 12 images, I think came to 1 minute 50, I think it was. It replayed the music, recycled the music, and crescendoed, I think it's called, towards the end, did it all for me. All within Lightroom Classic. So the hardest thing for doing that was finding the appropriate music for the images. So that was because you sit there and go, oh, what one do I choose? Oh, there's 1,200 pieces of music here. So you're sitting there and go, so you choose a genre and a style, and you go play. No, that's too fast. That's too loud. That's too punchy and too aggressive. And you're clicking on them and so on. And 4 hours later, you're getting down to the 934, 935. Oh, there's the one. So yeah, so. And that's why I say Lightroom Classic, along with Lightroom, is the program. It does everything that you want it to do. And I just exported it, uploaded the Vimeo, pasted the URL into WordPress, and that was it. Right then. Anyone? Sue, you had a question. Go on then.
I now have an image with that little square in the corner. What do I have to do now?
Okay, so you've got that one image.
Yeah.
Click on it, make it active in the grid view. So click on the image.
Yeah.
Then click on Lightroom, the folder, top level folder.
Lightroom.
Yeah, so you've now got that one image, but you're in the folder at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. Command A, select all. Yeah, and everyone should have been slightly grayed out.
Yeah, but it's the others as well, the ones
Yeah,
that...
that's fine. It doesn't matter because it'll only do the ones that you're going to do it to.
Okay.
Now click on that box and it will say overwrite metadata.
No. Oh. No.
No?
No.
Was it an exclamation mark or question mark?
It's an exclamation mark.
That says that's a missing file. Exclamation mark is missing file, isn't it? Go Command D and then just click on it and see what happens. Command D is deselect and now click on it.
What, on the exclamation?
Yeah. What does it say?
Oh, now you've got overwrite settings.
Okay. So click back on the image. So you got that image selected.
Yeah.
Command A, select all. Now click on it again. That little URL, that little.
Right. Okay. Now I've got overwrite
Yeah.
settings.
Now go that, and it should overwrite. All the ones that need overwriting should overwrite. Famous last words.
Don't say that.
Okay, John. Any questions?
No, nothing from me. Thank you very much.
Okay. David.
Oh, thanks.
No, at the moment, no.
Tony.
No, thank you.
Yeah, lovely to see you this week, Tony.
Yes, I'm sorry I missed the other three, but
All right. The recordings are all up online.
yeah, well, I shall be going through those.
Yeah, it's no problem, mate.